How's it going, guys? Vaultboy86 here with a different video than usual. I'm going to start uploading a lot more arrowhead hunting videos. A couple of you guys commented on my recent video and would like to see more, so I'm constantly looking in creeks almost every day. I go quite a bit. Some places I go, I don't have a waterproof case for my phone, but I'll probably get one soon. But I usually leave my phone in the truck and then I just head out to the creek. But I'm going to start bringing my phone with me and recording, or I might go and get one of those GoPros. That'd be probably the best thing to do. But anyway, you guys wanted to see my collection and I promised I'd upload it, so here's my small collection. I've got a lot more in a storage unit, but these are just the ones I found throughout the summer so far. Let's go ahead and get into some of the best points. This one I found in a creek south of Warrensburg. I went out there, me and my dad and my brother, and I was walking in the creek and I just happened to look up along the ridge in the bluff, or the creek bed, and this point was sticking like this. I was like, hey, that's definitely one. So I pulled and this came out. Beautiful point. Let me focus the camera for you guys. Beautiful point. Beautiful. When I found it, I was excited, and of course everybody was jealous. That's how it goes whenever we go out looking for arrowheads. Alright, I'll show you guys another point that I found. This one's one of my favorite points I've ever found. Matter of fact, this was found under a couple feet of water. I was just kind of walking through there, going slow, minding my own business, and I just seen it laying there. And I thought to myself, when I picked it up, I'm like, this has got to be, I don't know what else it could be. I mean, this is just, oh my God, this thing is so perfect. And sadly, it's got a nick out of it here, and a nick there, but other than that, it's pretty much perfect. I think it's a G2. If I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments, but I think it's a G2. But what's really neat about this arrowhead is there's fossils in the rock, and I don't know how old, if that's anything matters or all or anything like that. But I'm assuming it's some kind of different material that they use. I know they use a lot of flint, like they use a lot of red flint. Where I'm from, here in Missouri, they use a lot of red flint, a lot of purplish blackish rock, a lot of gray and white flint. Just different pieces of flint that they use to make it. A lot of the arrowheads you'll see are normally this color, or not this color, but more like this color right here. There's your typical flint, or this color here, like this point. See how it's got that pinkish to it. That's normally what you'll find here in Missouri. But yeah, I guess we'll go on to this one. A lot of these are just broken, sadly. I wish I could have just actually have found the full things, but you never know what you're going to find out there in those creeks. And those rocks, they're perfect when they come out of the ground, and then just over time of being washed through the creek, they just snap and they become nothing but remains of what was once a great spear, or once a great point at one time. But yeah, I try and find them even though they're broken. It's still an arrowhead, whether or not you accept it. I still consider them. I mean, you see the pound marks on all these arrowheads. It's obviously the last. And to think the last person that had this in their hand was an Indian. It's kind of cool. That's what makes it so much more fun, is going out there and saving a piece of history. All right, we'll go on to this point that I found in my family creek that you guys have seen in the recent video. This was one of the arrowheads that I found there. I think in my video I said I didn't find one. Well, I went back through my collection and I remember that I found this one actually in that creek, so I apologize for that video. I actually had found one before, but this is the arrowhead that I found in that creek in the recent video. It's not a bad point at all. Matter of fact, it's quite perfect, other than just usual creek rolling. Breaks it off down here at the end and at the tip. But I mean, other than that, it's not bad at all. I mean, it's still perfect in my opinion, but a lot of you guys will probably have way better points than what I have. And then this one's pretty cool. We had just rolled into the creek, and everybody was all excited and getting ready. And I jumped out of the truck, and right by the tire, this one was laying there. I was like, hey, picked it up, and of course everybody thought I had dropped it on the ground whenever I jumped out and picked it up, but I ain't about that. I actually go out and try to find whatever is out there to be found. I don't ever plant anything. I can promise you guys that, because there's what's the fun in planting arrowheads that you've already found? And sometimes you can lose those ones you planted and never find them again. So I mean, just planting arrowheads just to look cool is retarded, if you ask me. Now we'll go on to this point. This one's one of the most beautiful ones I've ever found in my life. This one I found out in a field. They were plowing the field, and I washed the dirt off of it. It was covered in mud, so you could really see it good. This one was covered in mud, like I said, but you could only see this side like this. And I seen that little nick right there they make for your rope, and I was like, heck yeah. I was like, that's perfect, I guarantee it. And I pulled it out, and sure enough, it was one of the most perfect points I've ever found in my life. Great memories that day. Not only found that one, but hey, I mean, you can't really go wrong with a perfect point like that. All right, this one I found the same creek I found this one, I found this one, and I found this one, and I think I found one more, maybe. Let me look. Yeah, I found these two as well. All right, all of these I found in one creek. It's a very private creek. It's actually kind of elusive. Like the main creek splits off into the smaller creek, and where the smaller creek is where all the arrowheads are. And I promise, because on up that creek, up on the bluff, there was an Indian encampment, and these arrowheads would have washed down from their camp throughout time, and that's why they're in the smaller creek. I mean, you can find them in the big creek, but it's a lot harder to look. In the smaller creek, there's a lot smaller area. You can cover it a lot more easier. Plus, you can see them on those shallow pools. You can find them. This big dude, I had a guy look at it, and he said that it was a knife blade. And I actually am pretty glad that I found this. And at first I picked it up. I was like, man, this looks so much different. This can't be just a regular rock. I knew instantly from the bottom. I was like, this has got to be an arrowhead. But then I was like, you know what? I don't know. And I dropped it. I put it back down on the ground. I was like, I don't think it's anything. Well, I'm so glad that on my way back I picked it up, because I just couldn't help but see. I just was like, man, it's got to be something. I don't care if it isn't or if it is. It just looks like something. So I picked it up, and one of my dad's friends looked at it, and he said, yeah, that's definitely a knife blade. It's old, whatever it is, and it's definitely been weathered. So yeah, it's definitely something. But if you guys know what it is, or you guys have an idea, please feel free to comment and enlighten me on what that could be. So far I've been told it's a knife blade, but we'll see what you guys think. And then here's your typical scraper. Just nothing special, just what they would use to tan the hides, or to scrape fur off of the hides, or even to scrape anything at all. They would use one of these. They'd hold it just like this. They'd scrape. You guys probably already know that, but I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys a demonstration of what that would have been used for. This is actually pretty unique. This is just something you can definitely see the pound marks in it. What it was is what I'm thinking is it was a rock that they had started on and never quite finished. It was a project, but and I've found a couple arrowheads like that before. Like I said, I have tons more. I have a couple totes in my dad's storage unit, and I promise I will try my best to get those. I have a lot of really nice points in there. But like I said, I have another one that I found that's kind of like that has been worked on, and they just out of nowhere stopped, or they just, I don't know what happened, or they might have moved camp and just lost interest in working on it. It was just a lost cause rock, but it's definitely pretty cool. And like I said, this one I found. All these are found in the same creek. Now we'll go back over here. This one right here, I don't know what it is, but it's definitely been worked on. I found this in a field. The same field I found these ones right here. I found all of these ones in one field, which is pretty good considering where the field was. It was a freshly plowed field, and I had been walking for a good hour. And I stumbled upon this one right here first. And this is sad, I mean, you can see the blade broke off right there. And then down here it broke too. But you can definitely see, if I get it to focus, you can definitely see that it's definitely a spear. It's starting to form one. And it was sticking out like this, and I seen that unique, chips that I know to look for. And I'm like, heck yeah, that's definitely one. When I pulled it out, I was like, oh man, what a bummer. Perfect point broken. And then I found this one a little ways further, and I looked and looked and looked for the bottom of this. I was just hoping and praying to the Lord that I would find it and I could glue it together. But I never came across it, sadly. Even though I looked, it just was nowhere in sight to find. But it is, if you hold it this way, I mean, you can definitely tell that was going to be a beautiful point. And I have faith that out there in that field, the other end of it is somewhere. It's just, it could have been anywhere, That field was huge, and it could be shattered, multiple splinters off of the main original arrowhead itself. But like I said, it's kind of a lost cause looking for them. All right, now this one's pretty unique. I walked about to the corner of the field, and I found this one just laying on the surface, and I seen all the nicks, and I was like, heck yeah, that's definitely a piece. But what's awkward about this rock is it doesn't really look like it formed one, because it has a snap here and a snap here. But I was trying to think if it was just like this one down here, if it was one they were working on and they got lost interest into it, and so they just kind of quit working on it. But it's definitely a neat piece all on its own. So we'll go ahead and put it back down. This is a pretty cool scraper. It's beautiful. Got those perfect pound marks in it. Found that in a creek as well. Different creek than usual. I don't usually go to this one. It's a conservation area, and a lot of people go out there and find arrowheads, and a lot of people are always in that creek. So I don't usually try. I try to go to the creeks that nobody really goes to or has any idea about, because there's usually a better chance of finding one. If you go to creeks where everybody goes, then your chance of finding one's pretty slim. And the fact that I found this is kind of hard or kind of unbelievable, because one, everybody and their brother goes down to that creek. Like I said, it's kind of hard to find them when everybody's stomping through there, so, and everybody's looking for the same thing. But yeah, I managed to find one in that creek. This one I found in the same creek I found this one. These two I found the same day. Here's another scraper I found in our family creek, I think, or another creek similar to our family creek. Where I live, we live out in the country, so I have a lot of different creeks that I search. So there's multiple creeks out there, and there's different arrowheads that I found throughout each creek. This one's pretty neat. I found this in the conservation land too, with this one, same day. Yeah, this one's beautiful. I mean, if it wasn't, it's a clean snap, a clean break. If only it could have been full, I would only imagine. That thing's probably huge at one point. But yeah, I mean, judging by this tip, this is just the point. I mean, this thing's huge. It probably came out a little bit further, just to wonder what it looked like back when it was done. Just a shame that it just snapped like that. Same creek, found this one too. I think it's just a scraper. It could be, something else. I don't really know. I was assuming it's a scraper such as this one over here. But yeah, that's pretty much all of them. Like I said, I promised this video a while back, and I'm sorry. I was just waiting to see if anybody would comment on my video wanting to see more. And I love arrowhead hunting. It's one of my greatest passions, and I try to go out there and preserve as much of the history that's slowly deteriorating as much as possible. And whenever I get the chance to, and it's a nice day, I'm out there. You can expect to find me deep in the mud or deep in the water looking for them. I love it. It's one of my favorite hobbies. And like I said, I'll try and get those totes of arrowheads out of the storage unit, and I'll show those ones off too. But for the most part, I appreciate you guys watching. Leave a like and a comment. Let me know what you all think. And I promise, maybe tomorrow I will go out in the creek and we will look for arrowheads tomorrow in my family creek. So, as always, stay safe. Vulpal86 signing off.